Hey y'all, welcome back. Today, we're checking out the strange history of British biscuits. Be sure to go to Big Nibbles and like and subscribe.
Have you ever stood in the middle of a biscuit aisle in a supermarket
and wondered how Britain ended up with this many biscuits? Custard creams, bourbons, hobnobs, Garibaldi's, rich tea, nice biscuits, ginger nuts, digestives. There is bloody loads of them.
Y'all, be sure to go to Big Nibbles and like and subscribe. I've had at least 3 of those. I love cream custards, I love chocolate hobnobs, and I love McVitie's digestives. I love them all. I've had a lot of these other ones. In America, they're called cookies. We all know that. Let's get beyond that, right? Let's get beyond that. This biscuit aisle looks a lot like an American cookie aisle. Look, they got Oreos. Y'all got the Oreos? Like, I was watching all these World Cup Brits come to America and they're going to Walmart and they're like, look at all these cookies, look at all this food, it's all crazy. Like, y'all got this stuff. Y'all got the processed sugar. Y'all got it. I would argue your sweets are better. Sorry, America. Britain does the sweets better. Let's move on from that. Okay, biscuits.
It's custard creams,
Yes.
bourbons, hobnobs,
Bourbons.
Garibaldi's, rich tea, nice biscuits, ginger nuts, digestives. There is bloody loads of
Some of
them.
those look like
And the
crackers.
strange part, most countries don't have anywhere near this many biscuits. So today, we're answering the question, why did Britain invent so many biscuits?
Why did Britain invent so many biscuits? Capitalism is my guess. Medicine.
long before you were dipping Oreos in semi-skimmed milk and before luxury cookies ruled supermarket shelves, biscuits were actually medicine. Yes, really. One of the earliest examples is the Bath Oliver biscuit, created around 1750 by a doctor called William Oliver in the city of Bath. He designed them specifically for his gout patients. They were basically flour, water and butter baked until extremely dry and crisp, because the idea was that simple plain food would be easier on the stomach. After Dr. Oliver
He's probably right. He's probably right. This is reminding me how Kellogg's cereal started as a health food. But then, I think his name was John Kellogg, but then his brother said, add sugar to the cornflakes. And John Kellogg's like, no, that defeats the purpose. But then, you know, Frosted Flakes were invented and people loved it more.
was that simple plain food would be easier on the stomach.
Right.
After Dr. Oliver died, his coachman inherited the recipe and started selling the biscuits commercially, which is one of the strangest career progressions in history, but people loved them. And Bath Olivers are still eaten today, usually with cheese on fancy pub menus. Around the same time, another doctor got involved in the biscuit game. This one was John Abernethy, a surgeon in London who believed digestion was the key to good health. So he improved the plain biscuit by adding sugar and caraway seeds. These become known as Abernethy biscuits. Even Prime Minister William Gladstone was said to be a fan.
He got close, but he added the sugar. I've heard like the McVitie's digestives have something in them that does help with digestion. Sodium bicarbonate.
Now, although biscuits are no longer considered a medically recognised cure for human suffering, there is one part of your health you should probably not leave in the hands of a Victorian bloke called...
They are good for your soul. Sorry. Okay.
Are no longer considered a medically recognised cure for human suffering, there is one part of your health you should probably not leave in the hands of a Victorian bloke called Joffrey, and that is your mental health. This part of the video is a paid partnership with BetterHelp, which is handy because if your current plan for emotional well-being is eating 9 digestives in the dark and insisting you're just tired,
Y'all be sure to go to BetterHelp and get some BetterHelp. Okay.
right, back to biscuits.
So biscuits started out as medicine, but that still doesn't explain why Britain ended up inventing dozens of them.
Get that
For
money.
that, we need tea.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
Britain didn't just invent biscuits, Britain invented tea culture, or, arguably stole it from China. But by the 1700s,
Right.
tea had become the national drink. And tea creates a very specific culinary problem. You might feel like you need something dry, sweet, and sturdy enough to dunk. Enter the tea biscuit.
Okay.
One of the earliest familiar examples is the rich tea biscuit. Rich tea biscuits trace their roots back to early tea biscuits made in Yorkshire. They were originally served to the upper classes during afternoon tea, which probably explains why they taste a bit gentle. But then something happened that would completely change biscuits forever.
Chocolate. Oh. Okay. Okay, yeah. So people were drinking a lot of tea. Like, it would be good to eat something with all this tea, right? I'm thinking back to the chocolate hobnobs, y'all. Those tasted like they were made to be dunked in tea because there's little air gaps between the oat pieces, and when you dunk it in just for a second, the chocolate gets all melty. It's so good. They're so good. Okay, Industrial Revolution. I've heard of this.
During the 1800s, Britain became the world leader in industrial food production. Small bakeries turned into factories. Companies like Huntley and Palmer's, Peak Freens and McVitie's suddenly had the ability to produce millions of biscuits cheaply. And once biscuits could be mass-produced, the biscuit arms race began. One of the biggest inventions from this era is the digestive biscuit. In 1839, two Scottish doctors created a biscuit made with wholemeal flour that they believed would help aid digestion, hence the name. Now, whether digestives actually help digestion is debatable, but what we do know is that they taste brilliant with tea. And in 1892, a man called Alexander Grant perfected the recipe for McVitie's. That version became the standard digestive we know today, which is essentially Britain's unofficial national biscuit.
What? Y'all, those McVitie's digestives are great. I've mentioned it on this channel before, but the liquor store at the end of my block started selling them. I don't know why. Maybe they watch this channel. They don't, but they're there. What is the McVitie's digestives recipe? It's a closely guarded secret, according to the robots, but it's probably a combination of standard wheat flour and wholemeal wheat flour, balanced with vegetable oil, historically palm oil. That's not good for you. A touch of sugar, malt extract, raising agents, sodium bicarbonate, malic acid, and salt. For a fantastic home-baked version that mimics the authentic salty sweet snap and wholesome flavor of the McVitie's, you can use the following copycat recipe. Flour, sugar, butter, leavening flour, like whole milk, and a chocolate coating. Yeah, I can make that. I can make that. 6 months ago, if you asked me if I could make that, I would say no. But now, I got some baking confidence, y'all. I can make that. I made millionaire shortbread. I made sticky toffee pudding. I made lemon drizzle cake. Easy. The biscuit boom. Okay.
By the late 1800s, Britain had become the global centre of biscuit production. Factories were inventing new biscuits constantly, which is how we ended up with things like the Garibaldi biscuit. Created in 1861 by Peak Freens, it features currants squashed between two layers of dough. British children even called them squashed fly biscuits, which doesn't really make them sound that appetizing. But they were named after the Italian revolutionary, who had become extremely popular in Britain. There's even a few pubs named after him, which has given me a brand new life goal, because I think I would love to be immortalized as a biscuit.
Chocolate. I would like to be immortalized as a biscuit. Or a benefactor of your patronage. Be sure to check out my Patreon in the description below. That feels so wrong to say. Okay, chocolate, y'all. I love chocolate. Chocolate.
Biscuits. We're about to get even better, because someone had the genius idea, what if we covered them in chocolate? In 1899, Peak Freens introduced one of the world's first chocolate-coated biscuits. And in 1925, McVitie's released the chocolate digestive, which made...
It took them 26 years to get on board? McVitie's? I mean, the world moved a lot slower back then, didn't it?
Introduced one of the world's first chocolate-coated biscuits. Then in 1925, McVitie's released the chocolate digestive, which may have genuinely been one of the greatest inventions in human history. So if aliens ever ask what humanity achieved, just hand them a chocolate digestive and a cup of tea.
The Biscuit Wars.
The early
Okay.
1900s.
Is that what I would give the aliens? I don't think it is. I think I would give them ice cream. Yeah, I think ice cream is what I would give the aliens. What's better than ice cream, y'all? I don't know. Ice cream.
The early 1900s, biscuit companies were competing to invent the next big thing, which gave us sandwich biscuits like the custard cream, first introduced in 1908. These feature 2 biscuits with vanilla custard filling.
Y'all, those are so good. Those are so good.
And then came the Bourbon biscuit, originally created in 1910 by Pete
not had
Freens,
those.
was 2 chocolate biscuits, chocolate cream filling, covered in little dots.
How could that be
Absolute
bad?
Victorian biscuit luxury. And from here, biscuits just keep evolving. We get Jammy Dodgers, party rings, and hobnobs, each one created by companies trying to out-invent their competitors.
Wow, the Jammy Dodgers and Hobnobs are that old? Wow, I've not tried Jammy Dodgers yet.
Hobnobs, each one created by companies trying to out-invent their competitors to sell in the supermarkets.
Savory sailors. Oh, okay, so sailors, okay. Oh, they probably took them on the boats, right?
Britain
Right.
also developed Savory biscuits. The cream cracker, invented in 1885, became the perfect vehicle for butter and cheese, and even earlier versions existed at sea. The infamous ship's biscuit, or hardtack, was a biscuit that was baked so dry it could last for months on ships, sometimes years. Unfortunately, it usually came with a bonus ingredient, weevils, which sailors would call extra protein. Lovely.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I've heard of tack. I've heard it's not good. I think Tasting History, Max Miller, I think he made some one time, and it was not great, but, you know. That's another difference in the language. Like in America, those would be crackers, but in Britain, they're biscuits. Wait a minute, I'm just having a revelation. Or maybe not a revelation, but an organizational epiphany. Biscuits are cookies. No. Cookies are biscuits. Crackers are biscuits, but cookies are not crackers and crackers are not cookies. So could we all agree that a biscuit can be a cookie or a cracker? But a cookie is a cookie, a cracker's a cracker. See what I mean? Biscuit incorporates the cookie and the cracker. Can we all get behind that and stop arguing about language? Probably not. The oldest biscuits.
Some British biscuits even go back further. Oatcakes, for example, have been eaten in Scotland for centuries. Scottish soldiers even carried oatmeal so they could cook oatcakes while marching, which basically made them the original energy bar. And then there's the flapjack, which historically meant something completely different as it does today. In the 1600s, flapjack referred to the flat cakes or fruit pies commonly eaten. Shakespeare even used the word. It wasn't until the 20th century that flapjack became the sticky oat bar that we know today. So
in America, that's not a flapjack. In America, a flapjack is a pancake.
Became the sticky oat bar that we know today. So every time you eat a flapjack, you're enjoying centuries of culinary confusion.
So, why did Britain invent so many biscuits? It turns out the answer is a combination of 4 things: tea culture, industrial factories, empire ingredients like sugar and cocoa, and fierce competition between biscuit companies.
Capitalism.
Put those together, and Britain accidentally became the biscuit capital of the world.
Y'all, I would say it's all about the money.
From medicinal biscuits for gout patients to chocolate-covered tea time legends, British biscuits are basically small pieces of edible British history. But there's one thing you need to consider before you leave the video. What's the greatest British biscuit of all time? Let me know in the comments, because personally, I'm a chocolate hobnob sort of guy.
That's what I was going to say.
If you enjoyed this deep dive into the crunchy side of British biscuit history, subscribe for more food stories just like this. And if you ever open a biscuit tin in your nan's house, there's a 50% chance it contains sewing supplies.
Y'all, I was going to say chocolate hobnobs. I said that before in the video, didn't I? Chocolate hobnobs are my favorite. I've not had them all, though. I've not had those Jammy Dodgers. I've not had the bourbon ones. I haven't had most of them. Those cream custards are good, though, but they're not like, I don't know. I don't remember if I had those with tea. I probably did, but it's just something about those chocolate hobnobs, the way they interact with the tea, that I think puts them over the top. They're so good. This was informative. I didn't know all this. Well, I'd like to thank my patrons. I'd like to thank my Buy Me a Coffee folks. Thank y'all for watching this with me, and I'll see y'all next time. Later.